Hello everyone, thanks so much for coming. We've been hosting events for many years and I've never seen so many people in a hall, so thank you so much for coming. The agenda for today is we have 2 keynotes, we had some pizza, and we're going to have some more pizza after the keynotes. The agenda for my keynote is first, who is here for the first time? Okay, a lot of people. So I'm going to tell you why there are so many people here tonight. Then I'm going to tell you a story from San Francisco. And then we're going to get a bit technical, but not too much. So I spend a lot of time in San Francisco every year together with my team. And every time we come back, we host an event and we share what we've seen there, what we've learned, what's trendy, and what we actually did there. This is the previous event after we came back in December 2024. And you can see now we have many more people. Today we had 350 signups, which is a lot of people, so thank you so much once again. My name is Yavor. I'm founder of this amazing community. It's called AI Engineer Foundation. I'm also co-founder of an AI startup called Juma, and I'm also a professional athlete. I used to be on Bulgaria's national table tennis team. Yeah, it's kind of random, but it will make sense in a bit. So what is this community? It's a European chapter of one of the biggest AI communities in San Francisco. This is Sasha. She's the founder of the community in San Francisco. It's a very big community. They host a lot of events. And I met her a few years ago, and we decided that we want to do something like this in Europe because Europe is far behind San Francisco and Silicon Valley, and we want to have something like this here in Europe. This is me. My co-founder Ilya and Sasha. We met Sasha in Yosemite, which is one of the national parks in California, which is super random. But yeah, why do we do this? I think in Bulgaria and Europe, there are many capable people, but we don't share enough knowledge, enough experience. So our events are completely non-profit. We pay for them from our own money, and we do it only to boost Europe's ecosystem. Last month, we celebrated our 2nd birthday. So yeah, thank you so much for everyone who has been part of it. We've hosted, as I said, more than 100 events. And when we hosted the last event like this, we were around 700 people. Today, we are more than 1,500. Here are some pictures from the events. We host all kinds of events, like big events like this one with speakers, some networkings. We hosted a hackathon. This is an AI quiz, which was very fun. This is from a networking event. And yeah, this is why we're here tonight. I'm going to continue with the story from San Francisco, and then we're going to get a bit technical. So first, what is San Francisco? Who has been to San Francisco? Okay, a lot of hands, nice. So San Francisco is at the other side of the world. It's very far, 12-hour flight. It's in California, and it's the place where 99% of the cutting-edge technology is born. So San Francisco is the place where cabs have no drivers. You can order a Uber, it's called Waymo, and a car with no driver comes, picks you up, drops you off, and it goes, which is insane. But it's also very expensive. So you could be an engineer, you could be a founder, but it's so expensive. And if you're not a successful one, you have to drive some Uber after work. So I've experienced this many times meeting technical Uber drivers, reviewing PRs, and so on, which is insane. Being a founder in San Francisco is, super normal. This is like the standard. Drop out of university. I also dropped out of university here. My mother is not happy, but when I go to San Francisco, everyone's like, yeah, you're a good guy. So there are infinite number of startups, especially now with the AI coding agents. Everyone can be a founder. You can just vibe code a simple app and call yourself a founder, so everyone is a founder. Last year, $150 billion were raised by startups, which is the all-time high for Silicon Valley and San Francisco. Most of them go towards AI startups, of course, as you can imagine. San Francisco is also a place where even the comedy shows are about code. Maybe you've seen the Tech Roast show. There are 5,000 people in this venue waiting to get roasted about their product ideas, about their startups, about their jobs, which is also insane. There are more than 100 unicorns in San Francisco, which is also a very big number. But okay, so what? Why do we go? Why me and my colleagues go to San Francisco? As I said, I'm co-founder of Juma, which is an AI workspace for marketing teams. Using AI, we help them be 100 more times more productive. So for us, it's very important to be cutting edge and be on top of everything that's new in AI. And this is the place where you can learn about it. We also have investors in San Francisco, and we actually met them through AI Engineer Foundation, the San Francisco chapter. We met them on Discord. We got introed on Discord, which was very funny. There are so many people who are in tech, and there's so many connections that you can make just going out on the street or just play ping pong, and you're gonna meet someone who knows Sam Altman, and then you get an intro or something like this, which is insane. This is my calendar while I'm in San Francisco, so many meetings, so many events. And yeah, how did it go? So this time we prepared, like spent maybe 1 month to prepare. We had to budget, we had to find housing. We wanted to engage as many people as we can in San Francisco. You know, I'm coming, I'm gonna spend Q4 in San Francisco, let's catch up. This is our home. It's very hard to find home in San Francisco. We were competing with 17 other people for this house, and it's not a cheap house. It's something like $5,000 per month for 2 people. It's insane. And thankfully the host was Italian, so I was like, hey, I'm European, we should support each other. So she was happy to let us stay there. What were the goals of this trip? As I said, we had to learn what's cutting edge, and it changes every few months. Like last year it was something, today is something else. I came back 1 month ago, so now it could be something else, so this might be relevant, but I hope not. We wanted to compare our startup, which was called Team-GPT, now it's called Juma, versus other products, companies, competitors. We wanted to do the rebranding, so we rebranded and we wanted to launch in San Francisco. And we also, of course, wanted to do a lot of other new connections. So I went with Tonkata, who is one of the most genius engineers from our team and one of the coolest guys I know. Where is Tonka? Where are you? Here's Tonkata. Tonkata has a fiance, so I hope she's not too jealous from these pictures. But yeah, we went together, and somehow we got invited to OpenAI's conference, which is probably one of the most exclusive conferences in the world. It's their annual conference where they pick maybe 1,000 people out of 60,000 people, so you have to apply, why do you want to go, blah, blah, blah. And we somehow got invited. So we went there. This is the venue. It was a very cool venue. We met some people that we know. This is our account manager who is constantly trying to upsell us. And this is, on the right is Ben, one of our investors. This is the venue where Sam Altman presented all the new updates. They shared. They announced this agent builder, which is like a visual builder for workflow similar to N8N, Zapier, and Make.com. I'm not very excited about this agent builder. This is much more exciting. It's the ChatGPT Apps SDK. So you can build a server, you can build an app for ChatGPT so users can interact with your app. This is like Canva, so you can create a pitch deck from ChatGPT. They announced some updates about Codex, which is their IDE. People in San Francisco are kind of hyped about Codex. I don't really get good results with Codex, but I don't know why. Then we had a free day, or at least we thought it's a free day, but we got invited by our investors on a one-day trip in the bay on his yacht, and he gathered some founders, so it was a very cool experience to meet some people. It was also Fleet Week, so there's an air show the whole week. There are low-passing airplanes over the boat, so it was a very cool experience, and we also made some good connections. It was Tonkata's first time in San Francisco, so I took him to a hackathon, and we won, which was a very, very nice experience. We built burning events. When we went, it was Tech Week, which is 1 week, 1,000 events in San Francisco, and there are so many people in the city. And it's very hard to find the right events to go. Like there are events for infrastructure, for AI, for everything, for whatever you want. So we built this application, we scraped all the events, put them in a vector database, and you could prompt and we would find the most suitable event for you. This is a problem that exists only in San Francisco. It doesn't make sense here, but people loved it, and it went viral during Tech Week, so we got 5,000 users, which was crazy. Then we got excited and we went to another hackathon. It was hosted by StackOut, which is a YC startup. It was in their hacker house. A hacker house is a place where a bunch of founders, they live together, they work together. It's a very big house, so they host some events, they have a ping pong table, and so on. We won 3rd place there. Our product also went kind of viral. We got 1,000 users. We made some money because in San Francisco, as I said, it's very expensive, so we made some money. The product is called Hacker Passport, and as I said, in San Francisco, there's so many events, and every time they ask you about what do you do, who do you work with, what are you building, blah, blah, blah. So in Hacker Passport, you create your own profile, you enter all this information, and then you can submit your link instead of repeating the same answers all the time, which was kind of useful. But the most useful feature was this event attendance. A lot of people don't show up at events because there are so many events, so people usually sign up for all of them and then they choose one. But here, you could track your event attendance, and the host will accept the people with higher event attendance. About this table tennis table, so the host announced that they're going to host a tournament, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to play. I used to be a professional, you know. I'm not going to compete with these people. It's not going to be fair. But the host goes like, the winner takes $300. So I played, and I won, and I took Tonkata to a nice dinner. So so it was fun. So yeah, these hackathons are super cool, great engineers, but some of their ideas are just ridiculous. Like, San Francisco is a bubble, and most of the people haven't seen a lot of real-world problems, so they optimize for some problems that are just ridiculous. These guys had created an MCP server for OpenAI's agent builder, and no one uses that agent builder, like, I don't know why. And the other project was Solana voice assistant. So if you want to buy Solana, which is a crypto coin with voice, you could use their app. Okay, sure. So Tonkata left in 2 weeks, and then we got Yuko. Yuko is my co-founder, and he's the guy who taught me coding, probably the best engineer in the room, and probably in Bulgaria. Where is Yuko? So it was Yuko's first time in San Francisco as well, so we had to go to a lot of events as well. I got invited to one event to present, and most of the keynotes in San Francisco are about tech. Everyone is getting super technical right after you meet them. So I decided to do a keynote about UI, UX, how to build a product for non-technical people, which actually don't exist in San Francisco. And everyone was like, oh my God, this is genius. I've never heard about this. So it was basically UI, UX for dummies, but everyone got so hyped. It was very funny. We also met our first ever angel investor at an event, which was a cool experience. And of course, we went to a hackathon. It was called Dumb Things Hackathon, where the idea was build something that doesn't really make sense, which was kind of fun. It was hosted by Replit, super cool guys. They do inference and infrastructure about AI. A few days later, they were acquired by Cloudflare, and the office they used was previously Notion's office, so it was a very emblematic office. We built Spookify, where you could upload a picture of yourself and your friends, and we would transform it into a spook image for Halloween. People in the States are obsessed with Halloween, so it also went viral with 7,000 users. And I had to write to Replit to give me some more credits because we were also generating videos, and one video was like $2, so we ran out of credits. It was very expensive. The prize was VIP access to Signal Fire's TechCrunch after party. It was TechCrunch, and a lot of the sponsors organized after parties. And one of the DJs at the party was Mark Zuckerberg's sister, and she's a VC, and apparently a lot of the VCs in Silicon Valley and San Francisco are DJs. So you go to listen to their sets, and then you might get to pitch. Are there any VCs here tonight? Do you do DJing as well? You should. But yeah, it was fun. So Ilko left, and now you can see I already have 2 dates. This is Ilya and Andre. Andre is our VP of Revenue, and Ilya is my co-founder. We spent some time together, but until this point, I had attended more than 40 events, met around 700 people, heard so many pitches, and my social battery was kind of dying. Luckily, we were in this rebranding phase, so we already got the new name, the new logo, all the new stuff that we had to do, so it was deep work time. We got a pass for WeWork, which is a co-working space over the world with some cool locations. This is on the 37th floor in Salesforce Tower, very cool place to work. And we started pushing a lot of code. This in the red rectangle is the period before the rebranding. You can see the highest bar is where we actually rebranded. So we pushed a lot of code. It was such a hard push. But then, of course, we deleted a lot of this code because it was super rushed. But a lot of the things that we did there were super cutting edge. It were things that we heard in San Francisco. So when you rewrite something, it's always better. So when I came back, I decided, okay, I'm going to scrap this. I know what I have to do now, and I'm going to rewrite it. We did an event in our investors' venue. We invited our friends, we invited our investors, we invited some external cool people, and we celebrated our launch of the new brands. It was very cool. This skateboard is Tony Hawk's, who apparently also got funded by the same fund as we did. Super weird, but okay. Then we went to one event which was very inspiring to us. It was hosted by Manus. Have you heard about Manus? Who has heard about Manus? Okay. Yeah, so it's a startup based in Singapore. Chinese guys moved to Singapore to build a startup. It's a horizontal tool where you can use agents for everywhere. They just got acquired by Meta for $2 billion, quite impressive. And we met this guy who is their CPO and co-founder, Tao Zhang. And he was very humble and very, very nice. He spent a lot of time talking to us. And we, of course, asked him, what is defensible? And the guy's like, nothing is defensible. The only thing you can do is just be very fast. And then you win 2-3 weeks compared to the other startups. Something else he shared, he said that AI usage is very expensive. When they went viral, they were burning $500,000 per day in AI usage. So he said, you have to fundraise or get acquired by Meta for $2 billion or something like this. It was very interesting. Then I got home and I decided to reverse engineer their product, which you can do just with prompting. So it tells you what it does. And I had a full report because a lot of the things they do are super cutting edge and are super, super powerful. Some of them we copy in our product, not gonna lie. It's genius. If someone is interested, you can come and talk to me about this report. It's very, very cool. Just don't tell Manus I did this. Then I went to another hackathon in YC. YC is probably the best accelerator in the world, founded by Paul Graham and some other people. Sam Altman was president. So a lot of very, very good companies and startups started from YC. And what we did is a project where you can enter a prompt, enter your company website. We would scrape the information about you, your customers, what you do, and then we would create UGC videos, which would make sense for probably your ICP. So the prompt here is agentmail.com, which was one of the sponsors, and interview with the girl in San Francisco streets. Here's the result.
Grace Mitchell here, spotting innovative AI. What's your name, company, and your big idea?
Hi, Grace. Agent Mail. We're the first email infrastructure for AI agents. They get their own inboxes to send and process email.
AI agents with their own inbox? So developers can build truly email-enabled AI easily?
Exactly. Programmatic.
So yeah, I was very skeptical about doing a video project because I had tried video like 1 year ago, and now it's so much better. There's so many new models, and I'm not even talking about Sora. With Sora, it's very hard to have a good result. But there are these Chinese models. I don't know what the Chinese do, but there are these models called WAN, W-A-N, which they can generate image to video, speech to video, lip syncing is perfect. So definitely play around with the video models. Then I had a couple of days alone. I love hiking, and California is probably one of the best places to hike. So I went to this very cool ocean trail, met some wild elks, had very nice time. And then I came back in Europe. So now we're gonna get a bit technical. I want to share my highlights, my insights. I've processed so much information. So now I'm gonna try to give it to you in like 10 minutes. I want to go back to 2 years ago when the AI boom started. What people were talking about back then, it was all about RAGs. So how many of you know what RAG is? Okay, nice. I'm happy about it. So for the people who don't know, it means retrieval augmented generation is the ability to chat with a very, very big data source. Let's say you have your company data and you want to use all the data while you're chatting. And the AI will select the relevant context when answering. So people were talking only about this. They were obsessed, building them, evaluating, building new kinds of RAG. It was very weird. Next year, they stopped talking about RAG. Context windows started expanding from 4K tokens to 8K to 1 million. Now we've got 10 million. So they started about talking, not using RAGs. They started talking about tool calling and external connections, like doing some actions in external systems. Then everyone was using Cursor. We didn't have Claude Code back then. And people started talking about anthroping being better than ChatGPT, which I still believe is kind of true. Today, people talk a lot about MCP. Everyone's super hyped. Everyone is talking, oh, this MCP server, that MCP server. Popular, but not very stable. I didn't meet a lot of people who use it actively on production. I went to one event which was called MCP Night at Cloudflare's HQ, and they were hyping people about MCP, but it turned out that they actually don't use it. So production adoption is still kind of low. I think it's a very good concept, but a few things have to be figured out before it's widely adopted. And I think that's scalability and authentication. These are getting fixed. We'll probably get there, but I'll tell you next year if that has happened. We're getting back to these visual agent builders, which people are hyping about. OpenAI released one, LangChain released one, Firecrow released one. Everyone is building these agent builders, which are pretty similar to these products, which have been around for many years, have millions of customers, and I don't really think they're gonna be replacing these. They're being marketed for engineers, which is kind of weird. I don't imagine an engineer sitting and just dragging some boxes and expecting to create an agent like this. Also, they call them agent builders, but I think they're more like workflow builders because the definition of an agent is a program that runs on its own until it decides to stop. And these workflows are usually, you have a starting point, you have an end point, which is strange to me. But yeah, there's so many people in San Francisco building these agents. They're doing the same thing. No one uses them, but they continue building them. Not sure why. As I said, video generation is a big thing now. Tens of YC startups are doing video generation, like UGC and stuff. If YC is betting a lot on video, it's probably going to be a thing because they compete with each other and they help each other to become better. So I think video will be coming earlier than expected, at least for me. The video models are super good. Play around with them. Veo 3 is very good, and definitely try the Chinese models. Everyone is talking about application layer. I believe that everyone is now pushing to build on the application layer because all the models are now a commodity. You know, OpenAI has very good models, Anthropic has very good models, Gemini have very good models. Everyone has very good models, and now building a model is not so hard if you have the money. Then you have to compete on the application layer, and this is what also the co-founder of Manus said. You know, they're not building any super deep tech. They have some deep tech, but they're not building like super crazy models or something like this. And you can see that OpenAI and Anthropic stopped talking about their models so much. Now they push you new features. Hey, do you want to use this? We got Claude Code, Anthropic Coworker, and so on. So everyone's now fighting on the application layer. And building a wrapper doesn't really make sense because OpenAI and Anthropic are focused on building the best wrapper. Coding workflows, I don't know why, but people are hyped about Codex. I gave it a try a couple of times. I didn't get very good results. I actually canceled my Cursor subscription 2 weeks ago. Now I'm using Claude Code only. And I went to a very cool event. It's called Claude Code Anonymous, where people just gather and talk about Claude Code. And I thought I'm pretty cool because my bill in Claude Code is something like $1,000 per month. And these two guys show up with a bill of $30K. One of the guys has his own agency, and he's pretending that he has a team of 6 or something like this. But all he has done is deployed Claude Code on some virtual clouds or whatever, and he's just managing Claude Code like crazy. Like his setup was very interesting, and the guy's like, if you're below 10K, you're a loser, man. Like, okay, okay, sure. Agents and products are getting more specific. Last year and 2 years ago, people were kind of trying to build wrappers and stuff, but as I said, now OpenAI and Anthropic are building the best wrappers around their own models. So now it's all about finding a bit more niche problem to solve and a bit more specific thing. To wrap up something that I was thinking about together with my colleagues, I believe these 3 products are the best agents out there: Lovable, Claude Code, and Manus. Of course, there are others, but these are my top 3. And what's the common between them? First, all these products plan very well. When you want to achieve something, it starts planning what the goal is. Second, all these products use a virtual machine sandbox. So it's a computer somewhere in the cloud that the AI has access to, and it can run code on it or execute commands or so on. Hundreds of integrations. Then we've got autonomy. You can have a long-running process without the user needs, or you need the user only for some input that you cannot continue without. So you get not like the normal chat experience, but you just prompt twice, and then a long-running process starts until it decides to stop. You have self-healing, so if the AI has an error or there's something which goes wrong, you just feed back the error to the model, and it's going to probably fix it. And we also have meaningful deliverables. Like in the normal chat, you have only usually chat, but now these products can deliver to you different kind of files, websites, apps, mobile apps now, different deliverables for different use cases. I'm going to go quickly through these. I don't know if you can see the text, but here on the left, you've got Manus, on the right, you've got Juma trying to create a LinkedIn post, and you have 2 steps to create a LinkedIn post. This is super simple plan, but the first one is gather context from the user. You have to do this before you write the post. And it has a plan, it tracks the progress, it checks where it is. Once it gathers the context, it will continue to the next step. VM Sandbox. These are probably the top 4 companies that offer you a virtual machine. You can think of it as a simple Docker container, just like one Ubuntu container, where the AI can, I'm going to send the slides, guys, don't worry. The AI has access to this virtual box, and it can run commands, it can generate code, then execute it. And if there's an error, it's going to feed the error back to the AI, it's going to rewrite the code, and so on. And it's all in a secure environment, because if you allow the AI to run some AI-generated code on your server, better don't do this. How it works, as I said, the AI generates the code, then it gets executed. Integrations. You have two kinds of integrations. First is for pulling data. Context is super important for achieving a nice result. So you have to pull some context from external systems. Usually it could be your Google Drive, Notion, or whatever. And then you have actions. When the workflow needs an action, like you have to trigger something in an external system, you need an integration with this system to trigger this action. This can happen with MCPs or native API connections. The autonomy. I think this is probably the most key component of building a nice agent. You've got the tool loop. So the model has access to a lot of tools. It could be integrations for pulling context. It could be integrations to trigger something in an external system. It could be a tool for generating code, for executing code, for running commands on the sandbox. So on every step, the AI decides which tool it should use. Then it validates what's going on, syncs with the plan, checks if it's relevant, and then runs the next one. And this continues until it decides to stop, needs user input, or the plan is completed. And we can also define some stop conditions or pause conditions. Let's say, if this happens, ask the user for this, or something like this. And when you have the right set of tools, this could result in a very long process. Of course, sometimes you have to pause and ask the user for some input, but it's up to you to find a relevant problem and integrate the right tools for it. Self-healing, as I said, you get an error, you tell the AI what the error is, and it's going to fix it. The AI is very good at this, so definitely a key component. And as I said, meaningful deliverables. You can create files like PDFs, PowerPoint, Word documents, whatever you want, web pages, websites, apps. I've put Markdown as a separate one because it's a very, very important one. Because when you generate a Markdown file, it's very easy to convert it to any other file. Because if you create a PDF, it's very hard to edit the PDF. You have to regenerate it. But Markdown to doc is very easy. Markdown to PDF is very easy. Most of the products start with Markdown file. So to wrap up, we've got MCP and integrations, video generation, virtual machine sandboxes, the battle is at the app layer. The coding workflows change every day. And the most important one, long-running agents with the right tools for the problems that you solve. I want to end on a positive and funny note, so I've prepared some funny moments from the past months. We were called Team-GPT, and OpenAI weren't very happy about it. They were like, you have to change your name, you can't use GPT. They sent us some legal letters. And when we went to OpenAI Dev Day, Tonkat and I printed this letter, and we were showing it to OpenAI employees, and they were literally walking away when they saw it, because they're very, very scared about getting in trouble. Do you know this guy? Who knows this guy? Okay, not so many people. This is one of the best YouTubers about web development, super good engineer, super good founder, and I've been watching his videos religiously, and we met him at OpenAI Dev Day with Tonkata, and I decided to ask him a question. I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't a dumb question. I had prepared with a nice question. And while talking to him, he literally walked away without saying anything. I was like, wow, what the fuck? So now I don't watch his videos. Firecrow Cafe. This place was very close to our place where we stayed. Firecrow is a startup from San Francisco. They do web scraping, web browsing. Like, they have an API, and you can just send a URL, and it's going to crow everything, no matter if it's a web page or whatever. And we saw the Firecrow Cafe. We saw some people inside drinking coffee, and we were like, yeah, we should go next week there, blah, blah, blah. And one day, Yuko and I decided to go and grab a coffee at Firecrow Cafe. But it turned out it's not a cafe, but it's their office. So we went inside. The people were super nice. They gave us some merch. We're like, we're your customers. We like you. Unfortunately, there wasn't any coffee, but it was fun. Marketing meetup in San Francisco. For this marketing meetup, more than 200 people signed up. And we went there with the idea to sell some software. Our software is built for marketers. So I was like, okay, I should definitely go to the marketing meetup and sell some software. But I forgot that all the people in San Francisco are just engineers. So the event was 200 engineers selling to each other products for marketing. And 30 minutes in, and I just left because I realized there's no one to sell to. Sandboxes are fun, and all these agents can be fun. Here you can see our colleague Venci tries to generate an image of a dog with the image tool. Like the AI decides to use the image generation, but it fails. But since because we have self-healing, the AI goes, okay, I'm going to use code instead. So it starts writing Python code to create a dog. And this is what you get when you build an agent with a lot of tools. You get some unexpected results, but it's nice. Yeah. So time's up, but luckily we have 49 more events this year, so I really hope to see you at the next one. One advice from me, I think all of you should go to San Francisco at least once. It's going to be very inspiring to you. Like, if you're in the tech ecosystem, you're going to learn so many things just by spending some time there. It could change your mindset, it could change your life. This happened to me, so definitely go and see it. Spend at least 2 weeks, I would say. What's left for the event? This was my keynote. Next, we've got one more keynote, then we're going to have some more time to do some networking. We won't have the time to do Q&A now, but I'm happy to talk to any one of you, and we also have 49 more events, so I'll be happy to talk to you. Now, I would like to invite Ilya. Ilya is my co-founder, CEO of Juma, and he's actually the person who brought me into the startup world when I was 16 or 17. So I'm pretty confident that he has even more interesting things to say than me. So please welcome Ilya.